Coach William Lowe. It's my second year at Carson High School.
Chris Fields III, class of 2027, quarterback, Carson High School, Georgetown commit.
Preston Leomiti, class 27. I play linebacker and running back.
Coach, last year, you guys win the Marine League. You allow 2 points in capturing an open division title, and then your season ends against Bakersfield in a very close game. But what are your thoughts from last year heading into this year, and what are your expectations for this year's Carson squad?
All right, we'll start with last year. I think last year we were a new staff. We were still trying to get to know the kids and kind of what the expectations were and what, like, the level we thought we could reach or play at. And by the kids being in the system for over a year now, I think they're comfortable with the coaching staff. The coaches are comfortable with the kids. We know we don't have to put a limit on the expectations, and we feel like we can play anyone and compete and win. And I think the kids enjoy that. They want to compete. They want to play the best. So I think the sky's the limit for that group.
And then for both Chris and Preston, I mean, a lot of times when a new staff comes in, right, it takes a little bit of time, but to do what you guys did, win the Marine League, win a city title, how much more confidence does that give you going into the second year under the staff?
Honestly, just knowing that in the first year, we were so successful, just knowing that with more time and more time to mesh with the coaches and a new group of guys, like how much more successful we could be. Haven't even scratched the surface of our potential. So I know this year is going to have a lot more in store for us.
Yeah, I feel like this year is going to be great. It's not like the first year how we just didn't know any of them and we didn't know like their coaching strategies. And I feel going into the second season, it's a great opportunity with these coaches.
Preston, I'm going to stick with you for a second. I want to talk about the defense. You team with Kingston to form one of the best combinations coming back. This defense wasn't tested in the open division playoffs. It was Kennedy out of Bakersfield. What'd you learn in that game that you're using as motivation, knowing that despite getting that championship ring from the open division, that left that sour taste in your mouth?
Just knowing we could have won. We could have stopped them multiple times. And, I don't know how to put it to words, but I don't know.
Coach, similar to what I asked them, right? You've got a team that, had so much success right away. As a staff, how do you now guard against complacency, and how nice is it having someone like Chris, someone like Kingston Sula as building blocks to, kind of continue to instill what you guys did last year?
Right. No, that's a good question. We talked about that this spring. We kind of felt a little bit of that in spring football because last year we were kind of, I don't want to say the underdogs, but we weren't picked to win the city. So you kind of played with the chip on your shoulder like you had something to prove, and it gave you motivation throughout the year. We talked a lot in the spring about we felt some complacency, like kids thought we kind of already arrived, or maybe some entitlement because people were picking us to win again. And I told the kids the hardest thing about to be able to sustain success is to be able to consistently provide some motivation, consistently find stuff to have a chip on your shoulder about and try to prove people wrong. So we went about that. Instead of keeping the schedule changed to try to provide some extra motivation, we just upped our non-league schedule. So we tried to play some good teams in the non-league to continue to try to get better and not just stay the same.
That non-league schedule starts with Lincoln out of San Diego. Two very good running backs came out of there, Marcus Allen, Terrell Davis. Then you go to Dorsey, you play PV, Long Beach Poly, and North Torrance before heading into league. And then you close out the season with Mary Star. I know that the first game on your agenda is Lincoln, but what are your expectations do you have expectations, or is it a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, I mean, our expectations is to win them all. I mean, our kids know that. That's what we practice for, and that's what we preach to them. But yeah, you have to take one game at a time. So you can't win them all if you don't win the first one. So all of our focus right now is on Lincoln and going to San Diego on Friday.
Then, Chris, believe you're headed to Georgetown. What's it like just having that college decision out of your mind and, being able to focus fully on this upcoming year? And then what are some things you're hoping to accomplish here as you close out your high school career?
Honestly, it's a blessing to just, have that surety that I have a place to go after my high school career is finished and somewhere to start new beginnings and make a legacy there. Georgetown's known as a basketball school, but, when I get there, I want to make them known for football. I want to dominate in football, win championships at the FCS level, and have football opportunities beyond that. But, now I'm just playing free. It's not as much of a chip on my shoulder, but I feel like me playing free, I'm going to make better decisions and not be in such a hurry this year. I want to show improvements in the deficiencies, the deficient areas that I had last year. I want to just show everybody that I can do everything that they doubted me on. Like, I want to leave no doubt this year.
Georgetown has a strong contingent of recruits from Southern California. I was talking with a recruiter at the showcase. But did anything in regard to their Southern California roster go into your decision, or did they make you feel like you were wanted the most when they offered you?
Honestly, they showed me so much love and, support. Like, the coach FaceTimed me multiple times within the first day of meeting me, just constant calls, text messages to this day, just checking up on me. I have an OV arranged for me going up to DC, and the love and support just hooked me in, honestly, because you can go to a great school, have a great opportunity, but if they don't have your back and they're not like showing you that you're their guy, then it really doesn't matter. I just want to go there, go where I'm loved, and put it on film.
Preston, you aren't committed. You were second on this team in tackles with 99 last year. You're one of the leaders of this defense. Is there a chip on your shoulder going into this season without an offer? What's your biggest motivating factor from a personal standpoint?
There's most definitely, a chip on my shoulder going into the season. I just have to show what I'm capable of doing, and I just have to show out, keep my team, motivated throughout the season. And
then, Coach, if you could just give us a general overview of as far as, the percentage of your team that's, returning versus maybe newcomers, and I guess how much continuity you have coming back from last year's team.
Yeah, we have a lot of returners, which has helped, to your point about the continuity throughout spring. And they've been able to really develop not only on the field, but in the weight room too. I think if you come out and see our games, you'll notice physically like we're bigger in the trenches. I feel like we're bigger and stronger, which helps in some of our big non-league games, or that's what hurt us last year against Kennedy a little bit. So that was one of our goals going into the offseason. We know we had to get physically bigger and stronger. And with the large percentage of our team coming back, the returners, it allowed them a full year, in the weight room to be able to develop. And also because of the success last year of our upperclassmen, our returners, it's allowed us to bring in a big freshman class. We're over, I think we're at 41 incoming freshmen right now, and some really good ones. Some that, despite the returners that we have, that might see some time on Friday. So it's really overall, because of what these guys have done and the returners, it's helped really establish maybe some future for our program by bringing in young kids that want to be a part of what they've already done.
Sure, this one's for you. Last year, you closed in on 3,000 yards offense, over 40 touchdowns. How big is that for you, not only to build off of, but to remember that last year was last year, and I'm focused on this year and taking care of business this year, and your legacy that you want to leave at Carson High?
Honestly, it serves as a motivating factor because I know so many plays I left, yards on the field or touchdowns, if you will. And this year, now that I've seen the mistakes that I made on film, I've studied them, and this year I'm not going to leave those same opportunities on the field. I'm going to capitalize on as many opportunities as I can, and the numbers will speak for themselves.
Preston, a lot of the talk is this offense, but this defense is probably one of the best in the area, if not the best in the city as well. Talk about the mentality on the defensive end, the coach's message to you guys as far as being ball hawks, as far as, swarming to the ball, and, how you guys want to show out, especially coming up with that game against Lincoln on Friday.
The coach's messages to us is just, man, everybody just gets to the ball. You can't always depend on the first person to the ball making the tackle. So they tell us all 11 hats to the ball. And going into this game, they really stress on just discipline and just doing your job.
Do you play any other sports? Just football?
Rugby.
Rugby. How big has rugby been in your development as far as a football player, as far as speed, as far as tackling, as far as whatever else rugby can bring to a football field?
Rugby is a great sport. I played it since I was young. It helped me with, some cuts, some moves, and it most definitely helped me with the tackling. This is a sport that is getting bigger and bigger in the U.S., and I encourage a lot of young people to play it.
Chris, you just run track, right? And mixed martial arts. How big have those two been in your development from, being a freshman quarterback to now as a senior where you've learned how to move your body and take care of your body even more?
Well, like track and field has given me the confidence that I can outrun anybody on the football field at any time. But as a quarterback, I want to deliver the ball from the pocket, make the right reads, play on time. But if need be, I can run. And then especially on those design runs, just if you give me a crease, I'm going to make you pay for it. And then mixed martial arts, it's fortified my mind in the sense that, there'll be times in the game where you're like, your team will be struggling. You're going to get hit really hard. You're going to suffer some bumps and bruises, but as long as you keep fighting, there's always hope in the end that you can win.
Coach, before we finish, I want to touch on the offensive line really quick. Who are some of those guys up front that you have protecting Chris, and what's the message to that unit to, keep pushing?
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 of them back from last year, which is a huge help. We have a guard and our 2 left tackles and center. So we've added a really good incoming guard that's doing a great job. And like I said, them being in the weight room as a group and having a full year under their belt where they played 14 games, I think is going to pay off this year on the field just by experience. Being able to play in that many games and then have a year in the off season. You always want to have old linemen get meaner though and tougher. So that's that's what we preach to them. Just physicality. And I know Preston didn't say it on defense, but he knows it. Like, our defense plays violent. You have to play violent and physical. And as much as we want to see teams throw the ball around and score, defense still wins championships, violence and physicality. And I think Preston will tell you that's what helps our defense. And if that can spill over to our offensive line, where we're able to play that way as well, it just helps us as a whole team.
All right. Last one. Of course, I like to close this out. Preston, we'll start with you. Favorite football player, favorite football movie?
My favorite football player, I'll say probably Manti Te'o, and I'll give it to Gridiron Gang.
I would say my favorite football player, of course, Lamar Jackson, and my favorite football movie is Gridiron Gang as well.
Gridiron Gang. My favorite football player is Barry Sanders from the state of Kansas, where I'm from. So big Barry Sanders fan. And favorite football movie would be The Program. As far as like football movie, The Program. But I think you and I have talked before. Most underrated old football movies, I still say, is Brian's Song with Billy D. Williams playing Gale Sayers and stuff. So and underrated football. Yeah, James Caan, the early James Caan. Yeah, great movie.
Check out Greater with Brandon Brosworth. Brandon Brosworth's story.